Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jason Tucker, and this is WPwatercooler, episode number 293. All right, let's go around the water cooler table here real quick and get everyone introduced. Adam, how about you, man? Tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm good. I'm Adam Silver. I run a small agency out here in North Carolina, originally from Los Angeles, as you know, moved out here a year ago. So I run Concierge WP, and I also have a podcast over at Kitchen Sink WP. So, and water is brought to you by ServerPress today.
Not by your kitchen sink.
Okay, the enclosure is by the enclosure is by ServerPress. The water is kitchen sink.
George, how about you?
Hi, I'm George Stefanis. As always, I work for Jetpack. I like building shinies. I've been doing a lot of really cool Gutenberg integrations and building out contact forms.
Contact forms. I'm looking forward to the time where you're gonna be able to tell us a little about the projects you're working on with the contact forms.
Oh, sure. I can do a demo someday.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
We're gonna see that happen. It's gonna be awesome.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. We were talking about it, I think.
Yeah.
Well, as always, thank you for being on. Ross, how about you? Tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name is Ross Guile from DigiCal. I run a WordPress website business here. I put the live stream back here because I co-organized the Whittier WordPress meetup, and our last meetup was live streamed on Facebook without any breaks, without any hiccups, and it was awesome. So, and I do that. I co-organize that with Jason Tucker, our host.
Nice. It was good. We had a good time with that, and it was actually good that we actually had actual hardware that would actually do what it needed to do instead of crappy Windows that never work correctly or anything like that. So
nice.
How about you, Say? How you doing in that phone booth over there?
I'm not really sure. Is this thing on? I don't know what's happening.
The thing's on.
I'm Say. I make WordPress, teach WordPress, preach WordPress. I'd say read media on all the things. And I'm happy to be connected here with all of us today.
Hey, Say, where are you physically located? Where are you in building wise? What city are you in right now?
You're gonna mess up her OPSEC, man.
Yeah, come on. Are you trying to dox me? What are you doing?
She's in a cargo container at an undisclosed location, okay?
Nice.
It kind of looks like a cargo container, doesn't it?
I'm a little bit, I'm in the witness protection program.
So you're in San Pedro. Okay, I see. Okay, it's fine.
She got on GoDaddy's case one too many times, and then they have to lock her away.
This is what happens when you go pro, folks.
Story. Yeah, they put you in a box.
How about you, Various? Tell us about yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Various Smith, a.k.a. Dave Chappelle. No, I'm just kidding. I run Silver Rhapsody Design. Here, I live in Corona, and also co-organize the Inland Empire WordPress Meetup group, where we will have WordCamp Riverside 2018 on November the 3rd. So I'm inviting everyone who's watching this to come.
It's like one of the only WordCamps that happens in California that's actually named by the city that it's actually in, instead of some other adjacent city.
Hey, speaking of WordCamps, this weekend is WordCamp Philly. Come visit.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's chilly.
I'm being Dracula again. Not Jetpack Dracula this year, just
wait.
Regular Dracula.
Is WordCamp Philly like the one-dayer?
Yeah, it's just on Saturdays, then Contributor Day on Sunday.
Right.
Okay, cool.
That's awesome.
I won't be there. I was going to come up, but I'm not going to now.
I judge you for this.
I've gone to a lot already. I only have 2 camps left in me this year. No, 1. I'm down to 1 more to go. US. Speaking of WordCamps, who's going to WordCamp US?
Woo!
Dang,
Yes.
I'm not gonna make it.
Judge you. So much judgment.
That'll be my 9th and final WordCamp this year.
It's in Nashville. Hello, barbecue.
No, I might still maybe get the ride down
Their
there.
barbecue game is on. It's
I
on.
love barbecue.
Yeah.
And I've
This
never
is
had
nice
Nashville
brisket.
barbecue.
Well,
It's good stuff.
there's time. I don't have my ticket yet, so.
Yeah. So what else is on the docket, people? Jason, sorry, you go ahead. Lead your show.
Oh, no.
No pressure.
No, I
So
mean,
you're like, there's this dead time. You forget.
during
what
our
this
pre-show,
show's
we were
all
talking a
about.
little bit. Yeah, during our pre-show, we were talking a little bit about the various WordCamps that were happening here, in the U.S., around the world, the places that we were going and stuff. And various you run the Riverside WordCamp, right? Like
I technically don't run it; it runs me.
Fair enough.
No, but I'm the lead organizer this year, and it's really been a full-time commitment to. This is
Says every WordCamp organizer ever.
I know. It's my final. This is my final year leading for like 2 more years because I have to step down. But yeah, we're doing the WordCamp Riverside, and the theme is looking back to go forward. We have all of our speakers booked, and it's like 80s. We're trying to do an 80s theme.
So backwards compatibility.
What's that?
I said so backwards compatibility.
To bring in Kubrick back.
Backwards compatibility and all of that stuff. And we're also like, so I mean,
PHP 4.2.
What I'm most looking forward to on the WordCamp is like we might have a DeLorean time machine, may or may not have one.
It may be there, but it's not there for very long because it has to go back in time.
Yeah, but you wouldn't actually know if it did.
It's there for 88 minutes, and that's it.
You have to like erase your mind.
It will be there long enough to have pictures.
Yeah, I heard that there's an hourly charge for that rental, right?
Magic things happen there.
That's cool.
So
Tahiti's a magical place.
Wow, nice, very nice. It is a magical place.
What just happened?
Wait,
I'm making references to Agents
Shield.
of Shield. Okay,
Agents of Shield.
Agent Phil Coulson.
Okay, got
Tahiti.
it. I was like, I am missing a thread. Boy,
You are.
I was.
You're missing a whole fabric.
A whole fabric. a whole blankie.
So yeah, I mean, we're actually we're trying to finish up all the planning. Got about probably 9 days left, and I still have to order my because we're gonna have a costume contest on the first day. And I'm gonna do a Run DMC probably. Yeah.
You're gonna do what?
I'm probably gonna do Run DMC.
Nice.
I thought you were gonna be Dave Chappelle.
That's so much easier. Just put the hoodie on.
Yeah, you're done.
Done.
Hey, I'm just waiting for someone to show up as Gritty. Okay.
Oh no. So okay, wait. Real talk. Various. You're having a WordCamp coming up. How many of your talks are about Gutenberg?
About Gutenberg? I thought we were not going to mention Gutenberg on this podcast.
Okay, better question. How many speakers are women?
Let's look.
You just overrode.
Okay.
Question. As a woman,
let's go back to question one.
For women.
Let me explain to you why women are important for a moment here.
Thanks, Jason.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Actually.
No, we're probably gonna have. I think we already have about 3 or 4 talks on Gutenberg.
Oh, good. I think in 3 or 4 women. I was like, oh no,
yeah,
we're not doing good here.
For the women, I think we have probably around 40% of all of our speakers are women.
Yes,
we have a lot. We honestly, I like our community is mostly built by women. So like,
as are many.
Yeah.
Did I hear someone say that the WordCamp US speakers are actually majority women this year?
Wow, really?
Really?
I'm not sure if
Did you hear it? Like what on this?
I saw someone tweet that, and I hadn't actually checked to confirm, or I wasn't sure if like they were finished announcing speakers.
You heard it here first, folks. Unsubstantiated rumors abound.
Hey, it's what I do.
It's to me though, it's like if anyone's got the skill, it doesn't matter, woman, man, black, white, Asian, straight, gay, I don't care, It's
Are you quoting Lady Gaga right now?
Woo!
As one does.
Yeah.
No, well, I like that. The focus on diversity. I think we're the right community to walk that talk for sure.
Talk it like you walk it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's great. I really do. I was trying to go somewhere with a Gutenberg thing because like all roads lead to Gutenberg. So I was just trying to be like,
before you showed up, I said, let's not talk about Gutenberg this episode. So
yeah, well, I've been saying that for weeks now, but it doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, a year.
A year, basically, yeah. We should do it like that game that you play at like wedding showers where you're like not allowed to say a word. Do y'all ever play those games?
Right.
And you like
mean
get
taboo?
fined. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
We
drinking
should have
game.
decided on
Everybody
that
get your
before.
waters out. Let's do a little bit of a Gutenberg drinking game real quick.
Yeah. We'd be plastered already.
Or have to go to the restroom, one of the two.
One of the two.
Ooh. Or we could make a drinking game for WordCamp US. That's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
It's actually not bad.
Just hand out Gutenberg flasks.
Well, there was Gutenberg Bingo last year. Wait, it wasn't Gutenberg Bingo. It was just WordCamp Bingo. That was pretty fun.
I'm gonna get a Gutenberg flask for say.
Okay. I'm all right with that. Anyway, so we're not talking about Gutenberg. Fine. No Gutens.
So I mean, how many besides Various? Who else has led a camp? George, have you led a camp?
I have.
Yeah.
I ran Lancaster several years.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah.
I have not
And-
led a camp.
Tucker, you didn't lead LA, but you were pretty involved. When I first came into LA in the SoCal,
Orange
you
County.
were, huh?
Yeah, Orange County. Not
Orange County.
Let's see.
Oh,
I
sorry,
I live in LA County,
Right.
but by 3 streets,
By
and
3
so I see the dirty side of
just to be
the
clear.
orange curtain.
LA does not claim Whittier at all, just like it doesn't claim Long Beach.
Right.
So they're like, you can have your own.
But the Angels totally claim LA, like
It's
no matter
so
what.
lame. That's so lame.
It
Right.
is lame.
Okay,
Yeah.
so verdict on speakers. We have 27 speakers total. 12 of those are women.
Nice.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Does
Nice.
anyone want to do the math?
No, that's hard.
46%. Something like that.
Did you do that in your mind?
Yeah. So here's something. Here's a quick thing about regarding conferences. So besides the fact that I led LA for 2 years, but I went to a conference this past week, Monday and Tuesday. I'm talking about it on the Kitchen Sink WP podcast next week. But here, look, you guys think that having 3 tracks or 2 tracks with 5 talks per track is mind-boggling? Like it's tough to manage.
Yeah.
Here's Monday.
Dang.
There were 21
Wow.
tracks. Everything in red is a track. 5 talks per track. 21 tracks each day.
Wow.
200 speakers. This conference was
See,
called.
I question the value that you can get out of that because one, at that point, you start repeating topics.
No, you
because-
don't. You don't because this conference is it's called All Things Open. It's
So
it's the open source community.
Oh, that's freaking awesome, man.
And the topics,
Where-
for example, I'll tell you. So some of the topics are like 101, front-end
All
developer,
right.
back-end developer, DevOps, big data, case study demos, extended workshop sessions 1 and 2, databases. So there is no real overlap. What's sad, and I'm going to mention this in the show, is there were.
You can't go to everything.
Well, you can't go. Nothing's taped. You can't go to everything. You only go to 5 per day, obviously, because nothing's taped. And additionally, there were 0 technically WordPress talks. Surprisingly enough, automatic sponsor, but they couldn't send anybody because of resources. WP Engine was there as a sponsor, and that was it. There's a huge opportunity for somebody to come in
Wow.
with a hosting company. I would say, honestly, I would go with a hosting company with some pockets because this is a huge, much bigger event. It's not a WordCamp, right?
Yeah, it's open source. I mean, like, I bet you they have blockchain stuff there, right?
Blockchain. Yep. Here's like the sticker from one of the stickers, opensource.com.
Oh, that's cool.
Of course, more stickers, all things open. But it was amazing. So I went. There's a lot of community stuff. So I went to the community. I went to some UX, UI, CSS. It was interesting. But and I actually didn't know anybody. I knew 4 people, but it wasn't like going to a camp where we know 50% of the people at least, right?
Do they allow those conferences? Do they have those here in California or no?
They don't. Right now, it's only been in Raleigh for the past 6 years. There's talk about that actually moving forward to like start maybe traveling a bit with it. So I met the lead organizer. Guy's awesome.
Dude,
So
I would like to hear more about it because if I'm not organizing WordCamp, maybe I can organize that.
they're gonna. It's a big. It's not gonna be.
So the open source conference is not open sourced in its.
You'll have to
programmatic
have your WordCamp
approach.
like organize that.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Have all the WordCamps come together and organize that.
Yeah, you'll have to have your whole WordCamp.
It's a different beast altogether. I think. I mean, I look forward to maybe being involved with it next year here in Raleigh. But it's our budgets for, let's say, for LA for WordCamp, I think our budget was like 24,000, whatever it was, 25,000 for the budget. I'm guessing their budget, because it was at the convention center, because it's like 2,500 people, got to be at least 250,000.
250.
Oh, more than that.
Easier more than that,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
And 20,000 was just those flyers you were just holding up.
That's probably a touch. It's probably more than what WordCamp US is, and that was big.
right. So I mean,
How much was WordCamp US? I guess maybe I don't know.
I don't know exact numbers, but I want to say easily over $500,000.
$500,000 easy. Yeah, I think US is bigger. So yeah, It's interesting. So I think I'm looking forward to getting more involved in the ATO part of that, getting WordPress involved in that without it having to become I don't want it to be another WordCamp US East. There's no need, but there's space.
It wouldn't
for
be. It's got a lot of stuff. So
it's got a ton of stuff.
WordPress as part of a larger context.
Absolutely, and that's what it should be. Yeah.
You can also do what other conferences have done when you kind of circle around in another big conference. So the people have flown in to go to, say, like an Apple conference, a big Apple conference, and then you have all of these smaller conferences that just kind of say, "Oh, I have a conference that's happening right down the street, and you can come check it out." And it's
right. You can tag on, right?
There's a word for that. Besides South by Southwest, that's one word for that. The other word for that is the suitcasing is when you come with your own stuff and don't sponsor, but come to a conference.
You're not saying like carpet bagging. That's a totally different thing.
No.
Well, it is kind of like carpet bagging a little bit, but there is a word for it where you basically like siphon off of the promotion and the marketing that another event is doing, and you're like, come over here instead.
Like LA has some big conferences. Yeah, there's some big conferences that are tech-based conferences that happen in LA that you might be able to pull that off. It requires a lot of work because you're really having to kind of rise up against their promotions and being able to really say like, "Hey, we're doing something too. Come check this out. This is going on at this time." You know, trucks driving by, put stickers on elevators, do whatever to you.
I was about to make that joke.
Some guerrilla marketing stuff right there, huh?
But you got to do that.
As long as you're not sponsoring the main event and they have to punch you for it.
It would be to either buffer at the beginning or the end of the event. So like leading up to it, so if the conference starts on a Thursday, you have an event on a Wednesday or the following Monday or whatever. So you can take advantage of it, but not overshadow it. Because especially if it's an open source conference, right? Isn't that the whole goal is to support that?
Right.
And make that bigger, not compete against it, which is I think what a lot of our natural instincts are to do. Like let's make something that competes with that as opposed to joining up and that's the ethos source.
Yeah,
the open source ethos.
The guy Todd who runs it, he actually even said I spoke to him at length, and he would like, he was trying to get Matt to become keynote. He wants, he knows, I mean, it's WordPress
oh my gosh.
It needs to happen, and hopefully it will. I mean, I'll talk to Matt in December. We'll see if I can help out with that.
All I'm hearing is road trip to Raleigh.
Yeah, right.
Although not a road trip.
Not a road trip. It's a flight. Yeah.
Wait, if it was a road trip, would it be a rally? Would it be a rally to Raleigh?
Can I just ask that they not schedule that during hurricane season? I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Cheaper rates. Maybe.
It wasn't as bad as WordCamp Wilmington was literally canceled because of a hurricane.
Wow. So Adam, you have experienced your first hurricane, right?
It turned south, so we got the rain from it, but not like we didn't get much more than that. It was kind of like come on, this is all you got?
Yeah, challenge Mother Nature. That's a good plan. Just do that.
It's fun to see. I saw you posted some videos of the rain.
Yeah. It just comes. It's heavy rain. I'm the weatherman. We just still find it funny when you see the people down. I mean, yes, the coast got hit. They got a lot of damage. We didn't get much of any of that. It comes down to the fact that, when you see the reporters out in the rain, it's blowing. It's like, really? We get it. It's like, go back inside, dumbass.
But that brings up a good point is if you're going to be doing a conference where you have people from out of state coming to your conference who aren't familiar with this idea of something called weather. How do you manage that?
You mean anyone from California?
How does it work? Weather. How does it work?
Like for instance, I went to a conference here in LA who a whole bunch of people from out of state came, and there was an earthquake. And all these people got to experience an earthquake for the first time, all at the exact same time. And it was glorious because I'm just sitting here going like, wow, all these people are freaking out. And then everybody else is just standing there. And then people are getting under desks. I'm like, oh, man. Like a bomb where something's going to blow up and now you have to worry about fallout or something. I don't understand what you guys are doing.
That's awesome. You're like Californian, non-Californian. Yeah,
exactly.
Non-Californian.
Yeah.
It's like, about the tourists. Oh, look, they're looking up at the sites. Okay, they're tourists.
Right.
Staring at their feet. Okay, that's a New Yorker.
I mean, let's not be mad. I'd probably, that's not true. When I was in a hurricane, I went and stood on the cliffs in Maine for Hurricane Irene. So I was going to say I'd probably stay inside.
Were you like, come at me, bro? Or what were you doing?
Yeah.
Is that all you got? Like, I'm like Lieutenant Dan. Bring it.
Hey, speaking
to
of cold,
Oz.
it's not cold at in ye old Nashville, but I'm kind of excited now. We're getting close to WordCamp US.
Yeah,
I think it's
in
going to
5
be an
weeks.
interesting weekend. That's what I think. I think the community is at a point where it's in an interesting place with a capital I.
It's like Monica Geller. It's just getting interesting.
And then we're all going to be there together. And then, like, what's going to happen?
When are you coming in? Are you getting in on Thursday?
Depends on other meetings.
Okay.
I don't know how everyone schedules stuff so far out.
When we say interesting, are we referring to the G word?
We are the G word. We're referring to the G word, which will have launched.
You mean Gomer Pyle?
And the A word, and just the general, the V word, which is a vibe.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's just, I plan on changing a few things because, just so in case you didn't hear about it, Matt and I have been talking. We're actually going to change the name to Atomatic. We're merging the companies.
I was talking about accessibility.
I know.
So I have a question.
Yeah, Ross.
So I might as well chime in here. So when can LA have US WordCamp? WordCamp
Never.
US.
When can they?
When
they
at least 3 years.
There was an effort, and I think
OC had the effort.
Steve had the ideas, and but it didn't work. We have the Olympics, right? The whole world is coming to the Olympics, so why can't we have? How about US WordCamp World? Since we have the Olympics, might as well join up and do the world
everybody has to bid on it, and then they have to go build all this infrastructure, and then it gets ruined after, and no one actually uses the infrastructure anymore. And then just tons of money gets spent.
I feel like there's a parallel to Gutenberg in there.
I know, that's
he said it.
Legitimately, I think they've already announced where WordCamp US is going to be
St. Louis
next year. Yeah, St. Louis, which should then be the next 2 years.
It is, yeah.
And after that, it's then up for discussion.
So after year one of the next place, they'll open it up for a call, or that year two, right, a year and a half in, they'll open up the application process. So as far as Ross, LA goes, the problem you have with LA is it's expensive.
Right.
Yeah,
one of the problems, and it's really big. So like Steve pushed for OC for Disneyland area for that area. That makes total sense. But SoCal is pricey because
no, it's not. I mean, I've been living here for years. It's not that big of a deal. I don't understand what you guys are talking.
You can't afford a razor, man.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
But here's what I think. LA has a big disadvantage, and that's the geographic, because LA is on one end of the United States, where you have St. Louis. You mentioned St. Louis. I think you said Nashville.
I'm sorry. Do you mean Philly wasn't?
Philly was too. The first 2 years were Philly.
Yeah.
Well, and freezing, so cold. But
first year was. Second year wasn't.
Good swag opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think
we have the infrastructure, and we have everything here. It's just a matter of whether or not they want to. Anybody wants to come. We have all the entertainment. We have the beach. We have everything. We have.
Ross is like mountain.
We have no hurricanes. No hurricanes. So there you go.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think you also have the issue of who's going to lead, who's going to be the main point of contact. It's a big commitment, and US is that much bigger. I mean, right. I talked to Cami Chaos yesterday. I did a little check-in because I'm one of the WordCamp mentors. We did a quarterly check-in, and it's a matter of community. You need someone to step up. That's right. I was going to say, just to lead LA, I tracked my time. Year one, about 350 hours. In year two, about 400 hours.
I think I'm beyond 400 hours.
But that's not good, Various.
I know it's horrible.
Right, because it means you need to delegate, you need more people, but it's a big commitment for free. So that's the problem, is there's no financing, there's no subsidies, there's no stipend.
Well, so and even this year, we had a few organizers drop out. We started with around 10 organizers and we had 2 drop out. And so
okay, but let me ask you this though. Let's just ask you this. So have you spoken to them since? Are they still around?
No, one of them has disappeared. And
I had one of those too.
Yeah,
3 years ago, I had a guy supposed to be my volunteer wrangler. He was supposed to be he was in the first one of the meetings because someone else dropped out. He stepped in from the meetup, and literally I said, "Hey, Bill Jones, whatever his name was." Actually, I know his name. I said, "Next week, put out the call for volunteers. Here's the document I used previous year. This was 2016. Haven't heard from him since."
And
3 years later.
He probably won a lottery.
Yeah,
it's a commitment, and I understand. Like I just have to give a lot of grace because that's just the way it goes. It's like people are not gonna follow through sometimes, and it's like it's unfortunate. I felt like quitting at one point, like no lie. I was like,
I also heard you were being that someone wanted to fire you. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I was like, WordCamp is not gonna happen. And I'm like, no, realistically, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and sometimes based on community, some camps like this year, there's been 3 camps that I know that have been canceled because of venue changes, because of commitment.
San Diego is not happening next year, from what I heard.
Really?
What is
Which one?
San Diego.
San Diego, from what I heard, no one stepped up yet. And that's really the important part. I think a really good important point in what we're talking about today is that we need people who are benefiting from these events to start stepping up and being a part of it. Because
right.
you love the community, you love to get from it, but why don't you give a little bit back?
It's a labor of love, and that's a lot of people just it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean,
well, if you have term limits on people, and then you have a limited number of people who are making enough and have a scaled enough business where they can dedicate those hours to it, where they're not literally the core billable person in their business, or if they are, you siphon off that time. Maybe they don't have children,
right?
But like, the structure even of WordCamp US, is built off of volunteers and is built in a weird focus where it does have one main core person who really takes the brunt. And if they don't have a strong team of other similarly dedicated volunteers, you're now organizing a conference for hundreds of people, essentially by yourself.
Right.
And with
so lifetime term
limits
is what you're saying, right?
Well, I'm just saying, like, the companies who sponsor, them putting someone forward to organize things. I think in a lot of places they do that. They put forward someone, but some of the rules of turnover make it harder because then you're always also having brand new people organize an event. That's a really big pain in the butt. Like maybe by the 3rd year, you do a good, you're like, okay, wait, I got this. I learned from our mistakes, and you can implement it. But at that point, you're termed out. And just when you got your, groove going. So
well, you're turned out to being lead organizer. That's all.
Right. You can still be on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't be the lead organizer. You could still organize. Well, here's another thing that I'm pretty sure will never happen. But since the WordPress community gets such a benefit from the WordCamps, why don't they give a stipend to the people who lead organize and don't allow the people who are just stepping up out of nowhere to lead organize? A lot of people who've been in there for a while,
Well, honestly, that almost scares me more because then there'd be people that are like licking the cookie just to get the stipend, but not actually putting
doing the work.
Good, yeah.
But
it would have.
Don't do it for people who have not been involved with the community at all.
It would have to be. I think maybe George. I think it's an interesting idea actually. If you had a stipend, let's say it was a $500 stipend. Just something, or it's a token stipend, $500. But then you can say it's paid out based on the supporting team. So the lead only gets paid if the supporting team all votes. You get a percentage of the number. Like you get a review. Did Various do a good job? You get the 9 other people if the team's 10 deep, and you can go from 0 up to 100% of it. So there's money in the pot, and that way, if he did the job, he gets the stipend. If he didn't do the job, hey, we had camp, but you didn't do much. You were a namesake only.
WordPress Foundation is no longer an open source, or it's no longer
nonprofit.
It's no longer nonprofit. It's now a public benefit corporation. So
right,
we're doing everything for public benefit, but we don't always get the support we need.
So now we can talk about paying, student athletes. I'm just kidding.
So we should unionize, is what you're saying.
Right?
Come to unionize. No, I'm just kidding.
Power.
Organizers of the world organize.
But the thing is, it's not even just like a matter of the money. It's literally a matter of burning through the community. Like the community and these conferences and the networks and whatever, that is what we all say time and time and time again is one of the core strengths of this software that we're using. Right. And if we burn through our own community with our own policies and people who are dedicated so much of their time are feeling burnt out or whatever, like that's a big problem. And because there's such a dispersed community through the .org and through everything, people can very easily be lost. And then you get to a point where you have people posting resignation emails that are resignation posts that are really the culmination of a lot of things. It's not just one thing, but it is a symptom of the health of our community. And I think all of us here have a vested interest in keeping that community strong. So even though we might be like, oh, well, it's not good to pay people or whatever, we also have to be realistic. If we want it all to be sponsored by giant corporations, that's what we're going to get. Because if no one wants to step up, maybe there should be a community pool.
Well,
Maybe
realistically,
there should be crowdfunding.
That being said,
I
I
know you
resigned
would.
from the podcast this week because we are out of time.
Nice.
Good job, George.
I'm out. And also check out my other podcast called Get Options Podcast. Okay, thanks, Mike.
Awesome. Come to WordCamp Riverside.
All right,
See you in
folks,
US.
Thank you very much
That
for
was
hanging out with
soliloquy.
us. Really appreciate it. Go over to our website, WPwatercooler.com/subscribe. Talk to y'all later. Bbye-bye.
Yay,
Ciao.
community.
Thanks, George.
Peace.